Whose life are you living, yours or someone else's? Before you answer, consider this. How often have your choices been shaped by invisible expectations, applause you never asked for, or fears of falling behind? Most of life's frustration stems not from our failures, but from our obsession with someone else's story. When you constantly compare yourself to others or seek their approval, you give away the one thing you truly own, your mind. The Stoics knew this well. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Why live as a prisoner to someone else's standards when you have the power to define your own? Focusing on your life isn't selfish, it's essential. You can't build something meaningful while being distracted by someone else's blueprint. The only race you're running is against who you were yesterday. Part 1. Why you must focus on your own life. 1. Comparison is the thief of joy. Why do we compare our lives to highlight reels? You see someone's promotion and imagine they're living a dream, but do you see their sleepless nights or the sacrifices they've made? You envy a luxurious vacation, but miss the growing debt that funded it. Comparison reduces complex lives to illusions designed to trigger envy, but envy doesn't build, it burns. Comparison not only steals joy, it keeps you stuck. When you focus on what others have, you lose sight of what you can create. Instead of strengthening your own path, you chase someone else's goals, forgetting they may not align with your values. You become a shadow of their ambition instead of the architect of your own dreams. To break free, remember this: your only true competitor is who you were yesterday. Success isn't reaching someone else's milestones, it's living closer to your purpose. Real victories aren't loud, they're the quiet moments when you resist distractions, take one step forward, and honor your principles. Fulfillment isn't found in applause, it's in hearing your inner voice whisper, "Well done." 2. Control what you can control. Most frustration in life comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. Epictetus taught that true freedom begins when we stop wasting energy on things outside our power, someone else's success, beyond your control, their opinions, actions, and mistakes, also beyond your control. Yet how much of your time is spent trying to bend these things to your will? When you focus on what's outside your grasp, you surrender your peace. Life tosses you around like a leaf in the wind. But when you anchor yourself to what you can control, your actions, your effort, your attitude, chaos loses its grip. The world doesn't change, but your response does. Take setbacks, for example. Imagine working tirelessly toward a goal, only to be outpaced by a competitor or lose an opportunity. You can't rewrite the past or control their moves, but you can control your next step. Will you persevere, adapt, and stay disciplined? This is where true power lies, in your ability to respond with strength, not surrender to frustration. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." 3. External validation is fleeting. In a world driven by likes, comments, and applause, it's easy to mistake approval for worth. External validation feels good. It gives a quick boost like sugar, but the high is temporary and the crash inevitable. The more you chase it, the more dependent you become, living for others' approval instead of your own fulfillment. The Stoics warned against this trap. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You are acting for an audience of one, yourself." True freedom comes from setting your own standards and measuring yourself by them, not by the shifting opinions of others. What's popular isn't always meaningful. What others praise may not align with what's right. Public opinion changes like the wind. The same people who cheer you today may criticize you tomorrow. If your identity rests on their approval, you'll always be rebuilding yourself on unstable ground. To cultivate internal validation, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? What principles will I never compromise on? When you live according to your values, applause becomes irrelevant. As Seneca said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." But you don't need others to see your progress to know it's real. The quiet satisfaction of living in harmony with your true self outweighs the loudest applause. True success isn't heard, it's felt. Part 2. How to focus on your life. Focusing on your life isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. In a world designed to steal your attention, you need both strategy and discipline to stay centered. Here are 4 ways to strengthen your focus and live a life guided by purpose rather than distractions. 1. Define your values and purpose. If you don't know what matters to you, you'll be tempted to chase what matters to others. Your values are your compass. They guide you when life feels chaotic. Without them, you'll drift toward trends and superficial goals that leave you unfulfilled. To define your values, ask yourself, what do I stand for? What principles guide my decisions? What kind of life do I want to lead? This forces you to dig deeper than vague aspirations like success or wealth. What does success truly mean to you? Maybe it's freedom of time, meaningful creation, or nurturing relationships. Once you know your values, decisions become clearer. You're either moving toward your purpose or away from it. Purpose is your why. It gives meaning to your efforts and resilience to your setbacks. Without it, every inconvenience feels like defeat. With it, distractions lose their pull. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." When you commit to your purpose, you stop needing approval. Your validation comes from being aligned with something greater, your own values. 2. Create boundaries. Your attention is constantly under siege. Notifications, emails, and endless information streams are designed to pull you away from what matters. Without boundaries, your time and energy become currency for others to spend. Start with digital boundaries. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Schedule focused time away from social media. Each mindless scroll steals moments you'll never get back. Be intentional. Create a no-phone zone during your morning routine or your most productive hours. Small changes compound into significant clarity. But boundaries aren't just digital, they're relational too. Some people will drain your energy with criticism, distractions, or drama. Learn to say no without guilt. You're not responsible for fixing, justifying, or reacting to everything. As Epictetus said, other people's opinions are their business, not yours. Lastly, create mental boundaries. The loudest distractions often come from within. Negative self-talk, overthinking, or dwelling on things you can't control. Practicing mindfulness helps you observe your thoughts without being swept away by them. Boundaries protect more than your time. They protect the calm focus you need to thrive. 3. Embrace self-reflection. Self-reflection helps you stay aligned with your values and adjust your course. The Stoics believed in daily reflection, not to dwell on mistakes but to learn and grow. Marcus Aurelius would ask himself, "What did I do well? What can I improve?" Without reflection, we drift through life on autopilot, reacting instead of choosing. Self-reflection creates a moment of stillness to ask, "Am I living in alignment with what matters?" It helps you catch distractions early and make intentional changes. Reflection can take many forms: journaling, meditative walks, or quiet time at the end of the day. The method doesn't matter as much as the habit. Seneca said, We should bring our will into tune with what happens so that nothing happens against our will and nothing that we wish for fails to happen. Through reflection, you spot patterns, what drains your energy and what fuels your growth. It's not about perfection, it's about noticing where you can improve and taking small steps daily. The more aware you become of your thoughts and actions, the harder it is to be pulled off course. 4. Let go of the fear of missing out. FOMO. FOMO convinces you that life is happening somewhere else, that others are living more exciting lives while you're stuck. But FOMO is an illusion. What you see online isn't reality. It's a curated highlight reel designed to provoke envy. To overcome FOMO, remind yourself that life isn't a competition. Your path is yours alone, and there's no universal timeline for success. Someone else's version of fulfillment, buying a house, landing a promotion, or traveling the world, may not match your dreams, and that's okay. Gratitude is the antidote to FOMO. Instead of focusing on what you might be missing, focus on what you already have. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, reminding you of the unique richness of your life. As Seneca wrote, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for those he has." Finally, slow down. FOMO thrives on urgency, the fear that if you don't act, you'll fall behind. But life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. When you slow down and focus on what truly matters to you, you realize you're not missing out. You're simply choosing to live intentionally. By defining your values, setting boundaries, reflecting regularly, and releasing the fear of missing out, you create a life of clarity and purpose. Instead of reacting to the noise around you, you begin to shape a life that's uniquely yours. Part 3. Conclusion. Focusing on your life doesn't mean ignoring others or living in isolation. It means choosing what deserves your time, energy, and attention. When you stop being consumed by external noise, you create space for clarity, creativity, and growth. You begin to live intentionally, not reactively. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's story. Don't be trapped by the expectations of others or distracted by their opinions. Instead, listen to your own inner voice and have the courage to follow it. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." Every day is a blank page. Don't fill it with someone else's script. Write your own. Make it bold, make it meaningful, and most importantly, make it yours. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe to stay updated with more Stoic wisdom. I've also linked some other powerful videos behind that dive deeper into personal growth and mastering your mind. Take a moment to check them out. You won't want to miss them.